They call him Seatin, the man of legends.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Seatin here. Welcome to a video. Now on today's video, I don't really know the title of it yet, it's yet to be decided. Basically, I'm going to ramble on about this new website that I'm creating, which aims to be the ultimate education resource for Rift, and a variety of other MMORPG titles. So I've been working on this website for a couple of months now, sort of in my spare time. And I've gotten it to a state where I'm ready to like share it all with you, and this is going to be up just after the video. I'll have a link to it in the description. So basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to make an actual website where I could write written guides, organize them very well, and maybe further incorporate that sort of with my video guides in the future. Now, the primary focus before Rift 3.0 has been making these written guides and sorting out the website. You know, I haven't really been making any class guides for Rift, video-wise, because I know if I make class guides, then in like 30 days' time, they're all going to become slightly irrelevant, and I'm going to have to change a lot of bits and bobs around. Whereas with a written guide, it is just like, you know, I can hit edit, add a few new sections in, and bam, it's up to date. So I'm going to give you a bit of a tour of the website at the moment. So we have class guide categories for pretty much every class. Now currently, under every section of the class guides is basically 5 titles. So we have a section called Solo, which basically explains what specs are good for solo gameplay and their advantages, disadvantages, etc. We have a DPS section. Some sections are more simple than others, like the Cleric section, for example. You know, single target Shaman is the DPS spec, Inquisitor, Druid, Kabbalist, and then if people click on, you know, any of the highlighted names, then what they can do is they can go on to a nice guide for that spec and class, which has like loads of macros and stuff. So the guides themselves are pretty damn in depth. It's been a mixture of me writing them and also getting a bit of assistance from some of sort of the top Rift guide writers on the forums. But yeah, so it's kind of like a 50-50 split on the site between guides that I've written and people that I've sort of collaborated with to write guides. So there are just a ton of people I've collaborated with, which I'll give a nice shout out to at the end of the video, but for now let's just focus back on the site. So yeah, we have a DPS section, so you know, if you're new level 16, you want to see what's top, you can just quickly pick out the specs and know which ones, you know, perform the best, because just like all over Reddit and the forums, we see this kind of stuff all over the place. So I just wanted people to clearly, you know, go onto the website, be able to click on their class, see these are the best specs in terms of damage output and stuff. So yeah, I wanted to make an easy way to do that. Now the PvP section just aims to educate people on PvP. I mean, the Cleric one isn't terribly in depth, just because everything Cleric wise is kind of a viable option in some regard, and we do sort of explain that in this section, and how sort of different specs could be used. But then, you know, once you go into the guides themselves, they have a further breakdown of strengths and weaknesses. Then we have tanking, healing, and support sections as well. So basically, we aim to have pretty much everything covered. There are actually 6 sections instead of 5. There's going to be 7 soon. The plan is, once we've got like everything at endgame sorted, then we're going to work our way back to sort of do leveling guides and, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. So you'll see we do have one of these sections for pretty much every class. This is the Warrior one. I think the Warrior one probably is the most simple one, just because Warriors, you know, they're quite simple to do. You know, you just got a single target. You got Paragon, that's the top DPS spec, then you got Tempest, then anything under that isn't really used, but we put the 61 Warlord, which is primarily a PvP spec, under that, just because 61 Warlord still does viable DPS in PvE, it's just, you know, not as good as Champion or Tempest. So we kind of understand that people, not everybody likes to play a cookie cutter spec, so we like to give them viable options if they maybe really hate the top DPS specs and they're just somebody who like logs on to do like the easy raids or dungeons, so that they can play effectively and sort of carry their group without having to you know, like bring the whole group down by playing like a really obscure spec. So hopefully the plan really is the guides be straightforward, they be easy, and people 90%. The aim is that 90% of the player base can understand, pick up the guides, and learn every spec in under 30 minutes. That is kind of the goal. So, you know, I've been kind of going through it, and the way I look at it, I'm not a terribly good player, so if I can learn a spec in 30 minutes, then most people can as well. So we've tried to simplify the guides, make them easy. Some are easier than others, like for example, this is the mage section here. We've got the solo top ranking specs. I'm actually missing one spec from that list, which is the Cool Biter. You know, this is kind of like an ongoing project. I do update this site on a daily basis quite a lot. And then we got PvP. To be honest, there's not, I need to elaborate a bit more on the Rift Mage PvP section, but I've done some nice guides for like specs that not many people know about. I've really tried to promote in PvP for mages the Arbinator and Dominator specs, so I like these guides a lot because, you know, I wrote them myself, and basically I explain how to use every type of ability to essentially shut down other classes. So yeah, we got Arbinator and Dominator guides. I'm not going to go into too much detail on one particular guide. Then we've got the support section, which explains about Harpcon and Pyrocon, so gives mages like an easy way to pick up support specs, and those specs are like super easy to pick up. They're just like a few macros. So we've tried to make stuff kind of like all formatted the same, so you know, you have intro, strengths, weaknesses, specs, alternative specs, buffs, Archon auras, just, you know, single target rotation, AoE rotation. One of the things I've also enforced on the support guides is like core responsibilities as being a support player, because that's what a lot of people don't understand. But I've tried to keep it simple and to the point, just about, you know, like keeping your buffs up and what debuffs you should keep up. So let's just show off the rogue section as well while we're at it. So yeah, this is the rogue section, blah blah blah, lots of different solo specs. Like rogue was definitely the most in-depth one. We've put some like ideal for beginners here, because some of the rogue specs are a bit more complicated and do require a bit more gear than others, so that's something, you know, we've tried to cater towards and do as well. The DPS section for rogues is a tad more in-depth than any other section, just because there are so many different variants of rogue specs to use in PvE. Now the PvP spec does need a bit of work on, and I'll get that on, but the basic ranking system gives you an idea of what specs are good and what specs are not good. Muspel and Geryon and also Ninja helped me a lot with the rogue section, so big thanks to them. But yeah, I'm just going to show you a few other bits of the website as well while we're at it. So this is the about section. Basically, why is it called Manoflegends.com, which is the name of the website? I probably forgot to mention that. Now, the reason behind this is it aims to be a multi-platform website. At the moment, we're just focused on Rift and class guides, because we know that's one thing that is, you know, high in demand, but it's not going to change for the expansion. So I really like the name of Manoflegends.com just because it's very memorable. A lot of people, when they see me in game, will go, the Man of Legends, or, you know, just jokingly sort of throw out that tagline on the forum. So I thought, you know, instead of doing like MMORPG Hut or Guru with a load of like hyphens and stuff and it being really awkward, Manoflegends.com is super easy to remember, and does fit in quite well with the gimmicky tagline style of humor that I do have. So yeah, it blends in well nicely with my YouTube, and also it feeds my ego like crazy, so I do love that. So the site also is run by me and also my real life friend Elderus, who is just like one of my main bros. You know, he's helping me do most of the back end stuff, and yeah, if you want to request any guides or anything, you know, we do have a contact form, but you know, that's not really too much in use yet, but we'll get that. We'll explain more about that in the near future. Now, these are the main people that have helped me. I may have accidentally missed one or two people off the list, so I do apologize, but the main sort of supporters of the website, people that I've been talking to, are Heartbeat, a mage on the NA servers. Absolutely brilliant guy. He's just helped me with the mage section so much, so big thank you to him. Geryon from Apotheosis, he has been amazing on the rogue stuff. Like, he's just been a massive hand. One guy that I've totally forgotten, Killings at what is it, Typheria? Yes, that's the shard. He's helped me with like all the Archon stuff. Ninja's helped me with Saboteur, and also some of sort of the physician specs. Muspel, rogue stuff. Sedvik has been a massive hand on the warrior front. Eventide helped me with a couple of the mage specs, mainly Harbinger. Techie Will is going to be one of my kind of weekly news roundup posters. chapters, and also he's going to be doing a few videos for the website, so he's just been a massive help. Also, he's working on a, well, we are jointly working on a really big Rift for Beginners guide. Rough Raptors helped me a lot with the Warrior Tank guides, and he originally helped me with some Rift Raid guides, but we scrapped those because the expansion's only coming out in 30 days, so there's not really any point making guides for them in my opinion. Spence has helped me with like Defiler and a lot of the Cleric specs, so big props to him. And finally Ambi has helped me a lot with Oracle, so it's just been an absolutely amazing community contribution there. Now one thing that you may have noticed is that the site is a bit slow at the moment. Now, basically, I haven't really told anybody else this at the moment, but basically, I make enough money off YouTube to do this as a full-time job. So currently, I make enough money off YouTube each month to pay all of my outgoings and bills. However, I don't currently make enough money to have a quality of life, which, you know, I'm totally cool with. I went into doing this full-time knowing, and I've only been doing it about full-time about 2 weeks. So the aim for the website is to, you know, get a bit and grow my YouTube channel so that I can have a quality of life, that I can, you know, like buy decent food and all of that, because I have just been living off like fucking canned food and bagels for the last couple of weeks. So I've got this little support page because like I've never asked this before, and I really do hate asking it, but basically we do need a bit of help and support with the website, because I'd really like to upgrade to better hosting, and also, you know, I'd like a bit of money to live as well, so I'd really enjoy that, and I have put a lot of work into the website, and I promise I will continue to do so. So this is the little donator page that we have. Now, if anybody can contribute any amount of money, we are just like ridiculously grateful, because it just means so much. I've tried to do anything I can to offer some sort of incentive to donate. So for example, like I have 2 perks at the moment, which are, you know, aren't the best perks in the world. So the first perk is any donators that contribute over £20 will be able to request a personal message from me via SoundCloud. So basically, if you donate £20 or more, then you can use the contact form to say, I'm insert name here, you know, I gave you like 20 quid. Could you say insert whatever you'd like me to say here? This is because, you know, a lot of people apparently like my voice and want me as like a ringtone or something, so I kind of put that as a bit of a, you know, incentive to maybe donate a bit more, help me out, and then, you know, I can give you something back. So, you know, again, I don't really have much to offer, but it is the best I can do with the resources that I have. And then if you're an absolutely insane donator, if you want to throw anything over £50 or over, which I don't really expect anybody to do this, because it's just like a ridiculous amount of money, but you can personally request a video that I promise I will deliver within 7 days. Now, you can request any type of video for like a class guide, maybe a guide on how to do a certain dungeon or farm a rep, or just mainly just anything and anything that you'd like me to do that's fairly reasonable. I mean, you know, if you do want to donate this money just to get a video, which, you know, again, I don't really expect anyone to do, just feel free to like PM me before if you want to double check that I can do it. But most stuff, you know, as I said, I'm doing this as a full-time capacity now, so, you know, I have the site and a lot of time to work on both the site and YouTube, which allows me to, you know, keep everything up to date and keep on bringing you guys up content and guides and all that fun stuff. And also, you make it into this lovely donation hall of fame here. We've already had like a few donators and people who have supported my channel and the site, so I just wanted to, you know, shove them down in there in the hall of fame. So yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. Expect more stuff to be coming soon. We also have a couple of sections that are work in progress on the side. I mean, one of the cool things is that I like at least, is the Warfront guides. So basically, I wrote these a while ago, but they're basically guides that explain how Warfronts work, etc., in a bit more detail. So this is a Port Scion one. I know a lot of people are curious to how that works, but yeah, that's kind of a bit work in progress, and we're working on sort of new beginners guides, puzzle guides, and lore guides before the release of 3.0, and then when 3.0 comes, we'll just be doing everything endgame. So raid guides, dungeon guides, currency guides, guides, endgame guides, any guide you guys want. This is a community effort, you know, whatever you guys want, I'm going to try and deliver it. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the little update video. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will try to do anything that I can to answer any questions. If you want to talk to me privately, you know, you can email me, contact me using the sort of contact us button, send in a little thing. But if you want to talk about anything further, then yeah, feel free to get in contact with me. So this is the site manoflegends.com. We're working on making the best source for education in regards to MMORPGs, starting, you know, with fairly ambitious plans, but we'll see how we go, guys. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and you have a wonderful day.